Let's continue our discussion in Microsoft Word. We're going to take a look at the Insert menu, which is right next to the Home menu. There are a few things in here that are fairly important, especially for engineering. One of those is the insertion of shapes. So you've got a variety of different shapes in here. We're going to look at a couple of different ones that I think are pretty commonly used. I'll start with just a line or an arrow in this case. So I can draw an arrow through my document. You can see it there. I can change the color. If I go to Shape Outline, I can make it red. And under Shape Outline, I can also change how thick it is, 1.5. I could make it a dashed arrow as well, right? Something like that. A lot of different options there for that arrow. I can draw another arrow, and if I hold down the Shift key, then the arrow will be perfectly horizontal or perfectly vertical, right? I can't get it any other angle. I think I can do 45 degrees. Yeah, I can. But it's going to be horizontal or vertical no matter how bad I am with the mouse. So that's kind of a nice thing. You can see the drawing tools format. That's kind of where it defaults to once I do the drawing here. I can undergo rotation of the object here. I can rotate it left or right. I can flip it horizontal or vertical. A couple of different things in there. I don't use them too often, but you might find them. If I go to the rectangle, I can draw a rectangle there. It's got a fill. I can change that fill. I can make it nothing, so I can go to no fill. I've got blue borders. I can make that change. I can go to red. Let's go to orange in this case. And again, I can make that thicker by changing the weight. If I want to do a perfect square, I use the Shift key again. So if I go to draw this rectangle, but I hold the Shift key down, it makes a perfect square. Right? In a similar fashion, sticking with the insert, if I want to draw an ellipse, I can do that here. But if I want that to be a circle, I hit the ellipse again, but I hold the Shift key down, and it will be a circle. And again, I can change the filling and the border the same way that I did before. Once it's highlighted, I can delete it just by hitting the delete button. Okay, let's do a couple of other things though. Let's go back to the Insert menu. I think what I really want to show you here, probably more important than anything else on here for engineering, is the equation writer. So I go to the far right, you can see equation. Hit the little down arrow there, and there's a couple of options for very common equations. I'm going to insert a new equation. And when I do that, I get this design menu that you see up here. This could take a long time to look through, so I'm going to let you do that. But there are a lot of things I can do. I can insert fractions. So I'll pick this first choice here. And you can see I've got an upper and a lower section, and I can put 72 up here in the top and 151 in the bottom. And it's a nicely written out fraction. Notice the highlighters in the bottom. If I want to go to the top, I can just hit the up arrow. And if I hit the right arrow, it'll go to the right. Then I can hit a space bar if I want there. Now let's put in something with a superscript. So I'm going to pick this first choice. The other choices are blank. It's taking a while for the computer to kind of catch up to itself. And if I highlight the lower box, I can put in X. And if I highlight the upper box, I can put cubed or 3. And then again, hit the right arrow, and I'm back to the main page again. Hit another space in there. I can do radicals. You can see that here. Integrals are another one that we like to have. So let's do an integral. I'm going to choose this second one here. And again, it's taking a while to load. I'm assuming that's because of the recording process. And let's put in, I don't know, sine of x dx. And let's make the limits go from 0. And up here, I'm going to put in pi. And you'll see this menu under equation right here. There's not a pi there, but if I click the down button, there's pi. All right, I'm going to go back to here and hit the right button, get outside that integral. And finally, I'm going to go to accents. That's not like a French accent. This is going to be some things that we use very commonly in engineering. You can see the dot here, that's the first derivative with respect to time. The double dot you see here is the second derivative with respect to time, so I could just put x double dot. That would be the second derivative of position if x is position with respect to time. And finally, down here in the lower left, there's one that I think we're going to use quite a bit. And that's got the arrow over the top, and that's a vector, so I might have r. That arrow over the top, that indicates that r is a vector quantity. So there's others in here. The brackets or the parentheses are pretty commonly used as well. The summation sign or the sigma. You've done that, of course, in Calculus 1, or you will. There's several up in here. And then over here under these designs, there's a lot of different options. There's basic math, which has a lot of shapes that are really commonly used, but you can get into a variety of other choices or selections as well, and I'll let you look through those on your own. So there's the insert menu. That's going to be a big one for engineering or physics, any of the math, sciences, things like that. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments below.